Testing. Good morning, everyone. I invite you to turn to James chapter 4, where our Sunday school lesson will be from this morning. A lesson entitled Submit to God in Love. And the focus of the lesson will be on the first 10 verses of James chapter 4. James chapter 4, 1 to 10. Submit to God in love. The preparer tells us that by the end of the lesson, we'll recognize how worldly desires create conflicts, feel convicted of the ways we cause unnecessary conflict with others, and develop ways to seek God in humble submission. Recognize how worldly desires create conflicts, feel convicted of the ways we cause unnecessary conflict with others, and develop ways to seek God in humble submission. Let's pray. Father, we thank you for your mercy towards us and having protected us, dear God, since the last time we met, for waking us up this morning, dear God, and for giving us a desire, dear God, by way of your Spirit, to want to be here, dear God, and wanting to engage with you, to hear what you have to say, to respond in obedience, dear Lord God. And we just want to thank you that we have a place that we can come and gather. And we thank you, dear God, for the work of your Son, dear God, in accomplishing this in us, dear Lord and our Father, the relationship that we have as a church of people. And we just thank you, dear God, for those who were before us, dear God, who have the foresight. So we have a physical location, dear Lord God. Just want to thank you. May you give us a heart, dear God, that's in anticipation of what it is that we'll learn from your word this morning. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. For in focus story, it says, when her mother opened the door to her bedroom, 4-year-old Shayla waved her glittery hand and demanded, "Bow down to me, you peasant. You're beneath me." Her mother, Regina, gently responded, "Shayla, we don't talk like that in this house." "I know, Mommy, but it looks so cool on Spell Sisters. I just had to try it," she explained. Her mother's face fell with even more disappointment. Immediately, the little girl realized that without thinking, she had confessed her huge secret to her mother. She had been secretly watching a forbidden TV show during tablet time. Regina had forbade Shayla to watch Spell Sisters, or a show for teenagers that she feared would lead to inappropriate behavior. Her daughter, who had just been adopted and came to live with her and her husband, was very young and impressionable. Shayla had been exposed to all kinds of things before she came to live with her, and Regina wanted to protect her from the further influence of bad things and people. Regina patiently explained to Shayla that thoughts and words have power, so we have to watch what we see and say. That's one of the reasons we read the Bible and attend church every week, Regina said carefully. These are activities that help us think about God's will and help us stop doing or saying things we shouldn't. Today's lesson tells us to submit ourselves to God, and he can purify our motives. A focus verse here that's identified for us says, "Draw nigh to God, and he will draw nigh to you. Cleanse your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts, you double-minded." Our lesson is divided into 3 headings. It says destructive desire, James 4, 1 to 3, faithful fulfillment, 4 to 5, pure pursuit, 6 to 10. I want to turn our attention to our scriptures. I'll read from verse 1 to 10, and then we go back and just focus on the various areas. "From whence come wars and fightings among you? Come they not hence even of your lust that war in your members? You lust and have not, you kill and desire to have, and cannot obtain. You fight and war, yet you have not, because you ask not. You ask and receive not, because you ask amiss, that you may consume it upon your lust. You adulterers and adulteresses, Know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with God? Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of God. Do you think that the scripture saith in vain, the spirit that dwelleth in us lusteth to envy? But he giveth more grace. Wherefore he saith, God resisteth the proud and giveth grace unto the humble. Submit yourselves therefore to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Draw nigh to God, and he will draw nigh to you. Cleanse your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts, you double-minded. Be afflicted and mourn and weep. Let your laughter be turned to mourning, and your joy to heaviness. Humble yourselves in the sight of the Lord, and he shall lift. Sight of the Lord,